The Israeli occupation forces have continued their aggression against Jenin city and camp. That takes place for the third consecutive day, leaving 12 deaths and causing widespread destruction to the infrastructure. That came as residents reported ongoing gunfire and explosions, with at least 4 wounded, following the previous day's death of 10 people. This marked the third major Israeli army incursion into Jenin in less than 2 years. Israeli forces have continued carrying out an operation in the town of Barqin in the Israeli-occupied West Bank, demolishing a house and killing 2 Palestinians. The owner of the house said he was surprised by the shooting and was told to evacuate the 2-story houses where he, his family, his brother's family, and his father and other family members lived, without being given the chance to take any belongings. Jenin governor has announced that hundreds of residents from Jenin camp in the northern West Bank began evacuating their homes. He added that this followed threats issued by the Israeli occupation forces, drones and military vehicles. Hamas has announced that displaced individuals would be allowed to return to northern Gaza following the completion of a detainee exchange and Israel's withdrawal from the Al-Rashid coastal road. The statement added that internally displaced pedestrians may return north via Al-Rashid Street without weapons or search, with free movement permitted between northern and southern Gaza. Vehicles will also be allowed to cross after inspections. The statement added that starting the 22nd day of the truce agreement, displaced pedestrians may return via Salahuddin Street without search. The new United Nations New Middle East envoy Sigrid Kaj has visited Qnews in Gaza for the first time since the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. Kaj was seen walking among damaged buildings and touring a UNICEF-supported medical clinic and a psychological support center for children. She said she hopes the ceasefire holds and that the UN continues to deliver humanitarian assistance and basic necessities Palestinians have lost. More aid has been seen driving through Rafah on the 5th day of truce. According to United Nations officials, more than 2,408 trucks have entered the Gaza Strip since the truce agreement between Israel and Hamas took effect. Convoys of trucks carrying humanitarian and rolling into Rafah in Gaza's south. The UN previously estimated that around 60% of Gaza's infrastructure has been destroyed, including schools and hospitals. Aid and fuel deliveries were severely restricted during the conflict, prompting international criticism of Israel. The winter weather has compounded the hardships of displaced Palestinians living in tents and makeshift shelters. Heavy rains were flooding tents across the territory, leaving displaced Palestinians shivering in the cold. Although ceasefire in Gaza has brought an influx of humanitarian aid and a rare respite from Israeli bombardments to the enclave, it has done little to change the miserable conditions endured by most of its 2 million people who are displaced.